Hello, She Means Well family. Welcome back to another episode.
Hi guys, welcome back.
I've been trying to figure out how to do a welcoming without saying, welcome back to another episode of She Means Well. And that felt refreshing.
Yeah.
I Yoda'd it.
Come on back. Come to the living room. Take your shoes off.
Come on, take a comfy little seat on the comfy little couch.
Speaking
starting
of
to feel a
comfy
little
couch,
weird.
Let's just call out the elephant in the room right now.
Stop it.
I'm a floating head.
I knew you were going
I look like the flippin' couch.
Where is she?
I sat down and I'm like, awesome. I literally am the same beige.
You are beige.
on beige.
I love it. Nice. You guys, today we're going to be talking about some friendship advice, some questions that you guys left us on our most recent Instagram post on our story. Thank you for all of your questions, and it's going to make this episode great.
Yeah, we're going to start doing this once a month, like a questions, advice, you name it. If you have questions for us, about the podcast, you need advice in your life, or there's a situation, like whatever, you get the gist.
You get the gist. So we're just going to jump right into it. I'm going to start with two advice submissions.
Okay.
They both have to do with friendship.
Perfect.
How do I tell her I don't want to be friends anymore? So I have this friend. We've known each other since elementary. We used to think of each other as best friends. We got back in touch over the summer when she randomly texted me on Instagram. Why did she come back? I don't know. But I've been shutting her out lately. She hasn't done anything wrong, really. It's just an effect of my jealousy and anxiety. This isn't the first time I've shut her out either. She's literally the only person who has ever been there for me, the only one who wanted me when nobody has. I don't think I'm fit for the friendship. I don't know why I do this. There's something wrong with me, and I don't want to keep doing this to her. I'm so tired of hurting her, and no doubt she is too. What do I do?
Oh boy.
I feel like that screams she's dealing with shame and guilt from not feeling like a good friend. But when it's the right friend, the right friendship, I feel like you have that conversation. Hey, I've been a crappy friend and I am so sorry. But is that desire, do you think that desire is still there to want to pursue a relationship? Or are you just letting your guilt get in the way?
I feel like there's a lot to unpack in that question. Initially, I think I would ask why do you feel like you don't want to be friends right now? I feel like I need a little bit more context, but looking back, I think about being in high school, going through phases with friends where you're in very different seasons, and that doesn't go away as you get older. But
Right.
I think as you get older, you get better at being having grace for one another, and we're in completely different phases in life, and we have our schedules look really different, but a quick text goes so far.
Right.
And just having space for where people are at. And I think that when you're young, it's so easy to want to get all of this from a friend, all your fun, all your laughing, all your love, all your support. And it can be very codependent when you're young. It's so easy to do.
Yeah. And it's okay. It happens. You grow apart. I think there's friendships that are meant for specific seasons and they won't be with you for, the rest of your life. And that's okay. But I feel like having that communication with her, this is where I'm at. I am so sorry that I've hurt you in this way. Just owning that you haven't been a good friend, I think is important. And I don't know, don't be so hard on yourself. It's okay not to take that same friend with you through the next 15, 20 years of your life.
Yeah, I think just having that open communication. If you don't have a friendship that you can have that, then take that into your next friendships, because those are the friends that you want to have for a long time and forever, that you can be. I mean, we've had so many times in our friendship where it's I just need a word bomb is what we would say, and just get it out. And then sorry if this sounds ugly, hurts your feelings, not pretty. I don't know what to do. I just need to get it out. And Go ahead.
On a deeper level too, I think it would be important for you to have like an inward look and a reflection for yourself. Like, why is it that you haven't been a good friend to her?
Yeah.
Because obviously in your question, you've noticed a pattern within yourself. I think it's more deeper than just like,
She's bugging me.
she's bugging me, like
Because
we're growing apart. Like,
yeah.
why wasn't that something that you could have communicated to her earlier on?
Yeah. And I agree with that. And that makes me think like in friendship, sometimes when I am like spending a lot of time with someone, I can like pull the ripcord and then be like, I have no time for myself. I need to lock myself away in a tower
Yeah.
and be alone. And like that's a pattern that I recognized in myself. And so I know that I need to pace myself a little bit
Yeah.
when it comes to like you don't have to say yes to everything, but like don't just go radio silent either.
Yeah. I'm totally with you. Okay, I want to read this one too. When you've made the decision to end a toxic friendship, do you have a talk with them or let it fizzle out? I'm torn between the desire to share what I've been feeling with this person and not wanting to stir the pot. I've taken steps to lessen the time we spend together these last couple months, but now there's asking to catch up with me. I'm curious to know how you guys have handled similar situations. Thank you for your time.
That's good.
Mhm.
And been there, relatable.
Yeah.
I think, yes, you do have that talk.
Mhm.
And again, like it kind of goes hand in hand with what I just said about like not going radio silent, because let it be a learning lesson for you both, even if you walk away and like we aren't in a place where we can like have a healthy friendship. And whether that's one person saying that or both feel that tension or
Mhm.
walking on eggshells, kind of, there's been multiple friendships in my life that either I have had conversations and ones that I haven't.
Yeah.
And I feel like when it's ones that I have addressed the reasons why, it brings a lot of like inner dialogue and growth and like challenges me like why. And then there has been times where like those friendships have come around full circle in different seasons. I mean, that's even happened with us.
Yeah.
But I can think of a couple other friendships from like high school where it's like we're in different phases and then it circles back. And then sometimes I feel like you don't even need to like clear all the air once you
Yeah.
come back. And it's just like, you know what I mean?
Oh, 100%. They mentioned like it's a toxic friendship too. So I think to, yes, have that conversation still. I think it's doing everybody an injustice in the relationship just to let it sizzle out. I don't think that's ever good, just not to communicate how you feel. And if it's toxic, maybe just don't go like so into why you believe that you guys need space right now.
Yeah.
If it's toxic or if they are toxic, they're not going to be able to receive, I think, all of the ways that you're feeling. It's still important to say, hey, I need to take a step back from our relationship. But I don't think go into the nitty gritty of it because they're just going to be defensive, most likely.
Yeah. And I think something too that is very helpful in conversations that you're having with someone that you're like not sure how they're going to receive it or if they're going to get defensive, you cannot go wrong with when you do X, it makes me feel, because no one can tell you how you are feeling is like right or wrong. And I think just saying like it makes me feel like hurt when you go blah 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 blah, or like if you're for whatever the reason why they're toxic. And I guess like knowing the difference of like, yeah, what's worth addressing and what's like they just aren't, that's kind of fundamentally who they are right now. And I guess you got to know, is it a friendship that you see like I want to address this because I could see them being like a lifelong friend, or is it something that's like they're not a good influence on me, they're not good for me right now, I probably should just take a step back.
Yeah. And I would say like be careful too with that. I agree with you to an extent, but at the same time, for somebody that isn't healthy, saying like you doing this hurts me this way, I feel like that could end up you guys just not being on good terms and there being some type of animosity there. So I feel like leaving it to like I feel this way and leaving the you out of it is important and has helped me in hard conversations like that. And then maybe down the road, if you guys do end up connecting again and they're in a healthier place, sharing like the way that you did that, it hurt me this way.
Mhm.
But again, if they're not healthy, they're not going to receive like that. It's just going
Yeah.
to be defensive. And
I think too, knowing where you stand going into the conversation for me, like vulnerability, it going into that conversation, even being like, listen, I love you, X, Y, and Z. I really don't know how this conversation is gonna go, but I do feel like I love you and I want to like give our friendship this chance and just to like have this open dialogue. I think there's so much like power and humility of just how you're really feeling.
yeah.
And I've even seen like my mom model to me like friendships she's had in the past where they've like taken a break and they've come back around, and there's ways that it's just like it was so good to have that break. And sometimes when you force it and you need the break, it's so much more destructive and it could implode and be like, literally I can't.
Yeah.
I can't
Ever
ever.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one. My sister submitted quite a few questions here. Can you babysit? She said, what's the best part of having big sisters? We should answer that.
The best part about having big sisters was wearing their clothes growing up.
Sticky fingers.
Still. And being able to learn from their mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
My oldest sister's protective over me, so I like that. Having that big sister vibe energy. Yeah.
I feel like, well, actually, I was just watching this thing the other day on Instagram, and this older sister was talking to her younger sister, or maybe it was a podcast or something, and she got choked up and she was like, it was a podcast, and she was saying like, I, as a younger sister, like look up to you, and I feel like you could do no wrong in my eyes. Like, I just always think you're cool. I always think you're doing something fun. I just look up to you. And then the older sister was like, got choked up, and she's like, I get sad thinking like you like look up to me with that much because I'm me and I'm thinking like, I don't have it all together.
Right.
And she's like, to look at someone that has a lot of love for me and just is always my cheerleader, always in my corner. Like, it's special. And I think, yeah, I am so grateful to have my sister and your sisters like as older sisters in our lives because it just.
And just role models too, like watching Michael Lynn, Haley, and Hannah all become mothers.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And I've learned so much. And me being the youngest in my family, I have so many women that I get to look up to that are older sisters, even Bailey, and just learn so much from them.
Yeah.
Or what not to do.
Literally. Okay, here's one. What are some goals for the next few years? Let's like name maybe like personal and podcast.
Sure.
Like a few.
Personal goal. I do want to invest in my first really nice camera.
Nice. Yeah.
Before the end of the year.
That's a good goal.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get a new film camera. I lost my bag of electronics moving. Literally a bag with my film camera, my Polaroid camera, my laptop. A stupid paper shoot camera, like just whatever. Let's see, goals for the next few years. Work-wise, I want to be more dialed in to not just like letting my business happen, and like being more in touch with like intentional like social media for sure with like the podcast, but like for hair stuff, like I sometimes will bow out and like if I'm really busy, I'm like, I don't need to be present on there. And so I think just more consistency.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
I think more consistency with just the podcast in general. I feel like we've been pretty good about being consistent, given like this summer was a little rocky with our moving. I think more consistency in like the type of episodes that we're putting out like really paying attention to analytics and like what you guys want to hear. That's important to me. So dialing in specific content to put out. And I
Mhm.
really want to be able to give you guys some really good guests on here.
Yeah, for sure. That like one thing I think that we goal wise both feel so passionate about for the
Mhm.
podcast is like we want to know what you guys want to hear. Like never
Mhm.
be shy about like suggestions or like episodes you really like advice ones like this. If this is something you really like give us some feedback and like
Mhm.
if you hate it, like let us know.
Yeah.
Because I like listening to stuff like Ask Nick, the Nick
Yeah.
Vial. Like I just like to hear people what they're going through in life and like the advice that not a professional gives, but it's just
Yes.
interesting to hear what people got going on.
In different perspectives.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, let's see.
You want to hit another question?
Yes. Oh, here's a random one. What's your favorite unusual food combination?
I don't do this often, but this is weird. Grilled cheese with applesauce.
Oh, I've heard
I use it as a dip.
my old roommate Kelsey, I think, did that.
I
Not
know.
for me,
I know. It's weird.
but I also could like understand why. I'm trying to think if I have something. Oh, I love my fish.
I was going to say it's stinky, isn't it?
Okay,
All of you have some snacks that are stinky too. Your sorry, your chicken salad and jalapeno chips.
that's
So good.
That's kind of like this: smoked salmon, a good avocado, and the peppercini kettle chips.
Oh, yum, Bailey.
You do a little smoked salmon,
That's
a
not
piece
weird.
of avocado. It's just like unusual.
I guess avocados is a little bit weird.
Yeah, like they're all
but
good together.
yum.
But the peppercini avocado, it's like
Bailey.
sushi, but not on a chip.
Whoa.
It's so good. One time I was buying that. I like went through a phase a couple years ago. I was getting it all the time, and somebody,
Yes.
the clerk, was like, "You're really trying to get in your omega-3s." I'm like,
Thank you, Pam.
I am with those kettle chips. I know, but that is like kind of unusual. I guess it's not that weird, but
Mm-mm.
okay. What's your biggest regret in a past romantic relationship?
Oh man. Which one? You I just like the mic. You might as well lick an armpit. That is disgusting.
My teeth hurt at the thought. Like, imagine biting a washcloth.
Oh my goodness. A patient the other day bit down on a cotton roll and I literally heard it go. And that never happens, but it happened. It happened.
My insides are coming
Like,
out like so dry.
like a dry towel. Oh my gosh, I have chills.
Wait, that's a good question. What's like not nails on a chalkboard, but like pet peeve? Like I can't fold towels, especially at work, without putting lotion on. Like don't even look at them.
I don't like that either.
If you have a hangnail,
Oh. Man, I don't know. This is so weird. It doesn't happen often, but super dry, clean hands touching like paper.
oh. I can think of like walking through like Fred Meyer. Like you're not really necessarily probably there for the clothes. Like you're getting groceries and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's a cute whatever. Or like the baby clothes. Like I feel like I just have to touch everything.
Oh yeah.
That super soft quote unquote material that feels dirty. Like Sherpa that's so plushy that makes you feel dirty. I hate that.
Ew, yes. It's like the fake Sherpa feel.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's dirty.
Yucky.
And especially if you're like dead of winter, you need lotion.
Oh.
You touch it.
Snags.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Anyway, what's your biggest regret
Oh.
romantically? In your, yeah, whatever. Like maybe just think about maybe like if you could tell your younger self, maybe like I know, like I'm thinking about what you would say. You're like at all, but what you would help yourself.
Do you have one?
Let me think. I really like what you said when you were talking about starting to date and dating Connor and stuff. And you're like, I really prayed about like, God, is this the man for me? And I feel like I think about, I mean, Jordan's really my one and only like serious relationship, but guys that I liked before and would go on dates or be talking to or whatever. And of course, you got to like get to like, do we even connect? Do I like you? But I think just like from the moment and from the jump, talking about the prayer life that we have, I think just like day one, moment one, like praying about it.
Yeah.
Is what I would tell my younger self. Because I feel like I would wait until, do I like this guy? And then I would ask God if this is a good idea.
Oh,
And
I
would
see.
want like, but I'm like, but I don't even know if I like them.
Right.
But it's like, but you should be wanting that wisdom all the way through.
Right. This is such a hard question for me because there's a lot of things that I would do differently in my past relationships. But I guess not to get super deep, I would just say taking my time, not hitting gas pedal based on just how they made me feel. Yeah, and just slowing down and taking the time to really get to know them. Can I really envision this person in my life and my family? And taking the time to pray about it.
Yeah. I liked what your dad told you too recently about like
feelings come and go.
Yes, with their character. And does this align with like my goals?
Yes.
And not just like,
yes.
Yeah, we like each other's company and like, but like what kind of job do they have? What kind of flexibility do you want to travel? You know, and it's like, of course those things change, but I think just thinking even in the next 5 years, you know?
Totally.
Okay, let's do one more.
Okay, last question. This one's fun. What is a smell that reminds you of a distinct memory? I have one.
Oh my gosh, I have. Something sad, kind of.
Oh.
To be honest.
Yeah, Bailey, I think that would be a good idea. Who is this chick? Should I be honest? Who are you? You're fired. You are fired.
It's sad.
Come on, bae.
Okay, well,
I'll lighten it up because mine's disgusting.
Okay, well, I didn't realize that.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
I know. Should I say that?
Yes.
I didn't realize growing up the smell of alcohol on people's breath. And I thought it was a family member's cologne. And I didn't know that that was like what I was smelling the whole childhood.
We're like musky and.
Yeah. And we wouldn't see this family member all the time, but they meant a lot to me. And then when I remember drinking with Jordan one time and he was drinking whiskey and he like kissed me and I'm like, wait, are you wearing a certain cologne? And he's like, what? And I'm like, oh, you smell like
my
grandpa.
Yeah.
Can I say that?
Yes. I'm pretty sure he doesn't listen. Even if he does. Shout out, Papa.
I know. Should we?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yes. That's totally fine.
I know. We were not very close. Like,
no. Okay. Disgusting. My first time like making out, I guess, with a guy. I was at the movies.
What smell?
Love Spell.
Oh.
Love Spell will always remind me of that movie theater. And you guys, it's like he was drooling in my mouth. Like, and he had braces.
Oh
I was in high school. No, middle school.
You're making out in middle school?
Yeah.
I didn't have my
Like
first
8th
kiss
grade.
until I was like 16.
Oh.
That's another story.
Cute.
I was like, get this over with. This ain't cute. I'm not trying to have a first kiss on my wedding day. Oh my gosh. A puddle.
My chin's like dripping. Okay, that's enough.
That was the butter.
That was good.
Dude.
I know.
Is it a myth or true that braces get locked?
I could see how it could happen.
You really gotta be.
grating some cheese.
Ah.
Oh.
Love spell reminds me of the middle school locker room
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Mixed with BO.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Anyway, guys, keep these questions coming. Literally light, easy, heavy,
Yeah,
dark, whatever. We're here for you.
we are. Just no true crime anymore, you guys.
And I'll be honest. Yeah, no true crime ever.
That was disgusting. I felt so heavy.
I was like, I didn't even want to put this episode out. And
Yeah.
if you don't know what we're talking about, don't go back.
Don't.
Okay. Love you guys. We will see you next week. And ciao. I was going to say, do we know what we're talking about? But my brain's fried. I can't. Next week.
Next week.
Okay. See you there.
See ya.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.